Welcome back to my mental health and crime channel. This is for educational purpose only. This is the case of Idaho 4. This is Bethany Funk. In the clip, the TikTok clip, where the roommates are all imitating each other. Pay attention to where she's standing. That's where Dylan Mortensen, DM, meant that she saw BK, and he had bushy eyebrows. He was athletically built. His height was 5'10". Pay attention to how close Bethany Funk is standing near DM's room. And this says DM would have definitely seen the suspect, his eye color, hair color, but if he had a mask, that would have been different. But the eye color, skin color, she didn't mention anything of that. She just said bushy eyebrows. Wouldn't the suspect have seen DM or felt her breathing? She was opening the door 3 separate times. Unless I'm mistaken and this isn't a room. But I believe this is a room. This is the second floor. Zana's room is more inside.
New detail about the Idaho murders could change everything we think we know about the case so far. A neighbor told our Daily Mail reporters that they saw this door right here, the front door to the house, wide open at around 8:30 in the morning on November 13th, that Sunday, hours after 4 people in that house would be murdered and before their bodies would be discovered. The murders are suspected to have taken place between 3 and 4 a.m. That is an approximation, and as of right now, we don't have any other information to indicate how long this door might have been left ajar. And here is how this new detail could potentially change things. You'll remember that in the early days of the investigation, pretty much everyone was suspicious about why the 2 roommates downstairs on the first floor were alive and unharmed. Many people moved on from those suspicions when we learned that allegedly investigators believe the killer entered through this sliding glass door on the second floor or one of the nearby windows also on the second floor. The murders took place on the second floor and the third floor. The 2 surviving roommates lived on the first floor. So the theory there is, if the killer entered on the second floor and then went upstairs and then exited through the second floor, they would have had no need to go to that bottom floor. But if this front door right here on the first floor was used by the killer, either on their way in or on their way out, we are back at square one with questions as to why these 2 first floor roommates were not harmed. Now,
why was this door left wide open at 8:30 in the morning? Didn't BF feel cold? It was a cold day. Breeze would have been coming in if the door was wide open. Did somebody run outside from the front door and in their hurry they forgot to close the door? Let's not forget the tripod that was recording from behind the house said that a blonde woman was seen running from the back sliding door to the front of the house hysterically, and that was at 2 a.m. They put it on Facebook, and then it was deleted either by Facebook or maybe the FBI. But it's really interesting that the front door was left wide open. The police never told us where the entry point was or the exit point. Could it be possible that the surviving roommates left the door open on purpose if they were involved? Because let's not forget, they took 8 hours to call 911. And before they called 911, they called Hunter. Why did the killer need to go to the 3rd floor? Unless there were targets upstairs in the 3rd floor and the 2nd floor too. Because if the targets were up in the 3rd floor, they could have just gone up directly to the 3rd floor without disturbing anyone else in the 2nd floor, if that was the mission they came for. Because the living room and Xana's room is more inside the property. This is what the inside of the front side of the house looks like. I've been always asking this question. Where was Emily and Hunter that night? They used to always be with Xana and Ethan. What happened? So, if the suspects came in from the front door, they would have been heard most likely, unless they were hiding inside the house, which makes more sense. They could have been hiding in the closets or in the spare room, waiting for the 4 victims to enter. Where was Emily? The suspect could have easily known this house. Look at how many people were partying in this house. It was a party venue. And like the Uber driver said, he drove many people here to buy rugs. We can see Emma Bailey with the short jeans there at the end. So if she was partying here, it does bring the idea that Ruggs could have easily been involved. But I believe it was Ruggs that Brian Koberger could have actually been buying off them. Why would he be here in these areas around 12 times? I know he was around the areas, but if he knew Maddie and Kaylee or Xana or the surviving roommates, I believe it's through partying and substance. I don't think he was stalking or harassing them. That would be more like John Schwalter, allegedly, for S. harassments. We could see even the police pouring out the alcohol. And Maddie and Kaylee were not even at home. Maddie was at the corner club. This was in September, a month before the quadruples. So who was running the show? Who was running this house? Let's not forget Xana was only 20. People were drinking, partying in this house from Sunday to Sunday.
Okay. So I just looked for everyone that lives here, and they're not here right now.
No one's here that
No one's here
lives here at all.
No one's here that lives
So
here.
everyone here is trespassing?
Well, no one's here that's trespassing, but no one that lives here is here right now.
So where'd they go?
They're just not here. I have no clue where they went. No clue.
So you guys just throwing a party in their house at this
They were
time?
here at one point. They're not here right now. I just searched all the rooms.
They left and went over to some other party, and everyone is about to
I
leave
just
to
searched
go
all
over
the
to
rooms
another
and listed
party.
them.
Okay. Who does live here? What are their names?
I am actually not sure. I live across the street. I just came over. I happen to think a job.
Male, female?
I think it's mainly females. I think it's like 4
What
females.
sorority are they affiliated with?
I don't know.
I don't know if they're associated with it. I don't know.
So I guarantee you they're associated with the sorority. As many of them are living here. It's an off-campus sorority house. I've been a cop for 22 years here. I'm not stupid. Don't play dumb games with me. I'd rather deal with this as a noise complaint than getting a hold of the Greek council and the Greek board and all of that and the students and playing all these stupid fucking games.
Do you?
All I
I
do
don't
is deal
know.
with
I don't
noise
know.
Quick
complaints.
question. Do you
Because I
want us?
guarantee you there's a lot of underage drinking because they left their alcohol behind.
Do you want us to try and get a name or a phone number and
If
we
you
can
could.
call someone?
We just need to talk to somebody who lives here, because otherwise I have to be under the assumption you guys are unlawfully entered because no one who lives here is here.
Okay.
Right?
We'll go.
So I
get
need
a
to
phone
verify
number.
that there was a party here.
We'll
Now
go
everyone
We'll
left.
go get a phone number. We'll be right back.
Thanks,
Sorry, we're
guys.
not trying to make your life.
I understand. I just letting you know this is how it's going to play out. I'm not going anywhere until I talk to
No, we're not
somebody.
trying
We'll be right
just
back.
no.
You guys mind just leaving the door open for us? That way we can get some sort of communication between us and them. We're not going to come in.
Here right now, so
No.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Am I imagining? Or is his face bruised up? Was he in a fight? Was there a fight club inside the house? Allegedly. Look at his face and his eye. I'm just zooming in. Pay attention to Hunter's eye and Eddie's face. His eye looks bruised up. Were they having fight clubs at 1122 Kings Road? Could this place have been an entertainment place where they come and have fight clubs, gamble a bit, buy commercial rugs, chill and go home? Hunter was always in this house. Why did the surviving roommates choose to call Hunter first? And why is his eye bruised up? What are these people doing inside this house? And look at Eddie's eye. This is on Law and Crime. You can check it out. His eye is red. Strange that the police didn't even notice that. Unless Law and Crime has a bad quality pictures, which I doubt. These are clear pictures. Were these people having fight clubs at home? Both of them are bruised up. Could that be the reason there was so much or so many noise complaints? If there were fight clubs going on inside this house? If you zoom in the camera or zoom it out, it's the same. They both have injuries on their eyes, on the eye, the right eye, and under the eye. Hunter practically lived there. But why did they decide to call Hunter before 911? The police could have opened the door. They have the skills, they're more experienced. What could Hunter have done different? These two are really bruised up. We can see Ethan is golf set. I remember when Chief Fry was carrying it and putting it in the van, it looked like there were 2 golf sticks missing. I find that to be very interesting. Let's not forget a K-bar knife was used and a sharp-edged object. In the beginning, the mother said the golf set of Eaton was never returned by the police. It's held as evidence, and 2 of the Chapin's vehicles.
Often bag the hands of a murder victim, and for good reason, because when people fight for their life, they will scratch and they will claw at their killer like their life depends on it. And it is honestly the very last thing that a victim can do to help the police catch the person that ultimately kills them. Because in that scratching frenzy, the killer's skin cells become embedded under the victim's nails. And if that victim happens to claw at the killer's clothing, fibers might also get lodged under those victims' fingernails. And so bagging the hands of a victim preserves that magical, precious evidence as those bodies head off to the office of the medical examiner for autopsy. And today, a report that is exactly what happened to these 4 kids and their bodies.
The 4 victims' hands were bagged, and it's been 2 years. There would have been skin cells, fiber, clothing material, hair, saliva, anything on the nails of the victims, especially who were defending themselves from the suspect. So why are they so focused on the knife sheet and the touch DNA when they bagged the hands? That's one thing I've never understood. Xana fought for life. And I believe Kaylee had defensive wounds too. So I'm sure they must have scratched the suspect, pulled hair, and everything else. Find this to be very interesting. How come they haven't told us what DNA they found under the nails of the 4 victims? Kaylee, Maddie, Xana, and Ethan were all criminated. That can't just be a coincidence. These poor children suffered. And I believe it's not likely that one man like BK did this horrific quadruples within 16 minutes. Doesn't make sense. Anyone could have ordered the food on Xana's name, and anyone could have been watching Xana's TikTok. It doesn't necessarily mean Xana was alive. Why did Chief Fry decide to give the families back the personal items of the victims? Look at the plastic transparent bag. It looks like it has something red, like red liquid. Kaylee his mother and father said that a small bin in a room was full, so they didn't take it in for evidence. What if the weapon, the K-bar knife, was hidden in the house? They demolished the house. Why did they have eaten his vehicles and his golf set? Was that the sharp object that was used? Was there proper investigation ever done in this case? It was Thanksgiving holidays. Students were let to go home. The person who did these horrific crimes could have gone home too. Look at all these people. I believe they were plotting against Kaylee and Maddie. Jack Showalter, this couple here, the guy near Jack Showalter, they're texting each other, it looks like. Kaylee was on her phone the whole night, texting. What was actually going on? Look at the guy talking to Showalter. Look here, Showalter. As soon as he comes in the grub truck, everyone notices him and they all start texting each other. I wonder if any criminal organization is involved and if that guy is part of it. Pay attention to this picture. There's definitely something going on in the grub truck. Couldn't have all been a coincidence. They all were surveilling the girls. He still hasn't come in. He's going to come in now. Pay attention. There he is. Looks at John. They pass each other. Look at the guy. He's going to look at John and turns away. He takes out his phone and they're texting. Watch again. John Showalter is clearly waiting for someone. There he comes. He looks at John. He looks at John again. And they start texting each other. What was going on here? Could Kaylee have sensed that there was something going on and she was texting someone? Was she concerned? All these people are actually plotting against them, in my opinion. Area where 4 University of Idaho students were murdered was known to be a party spot. Taxi driver says that's where people go to get rugs. And he told that to the local mainstream news in Idaho, Moscow. So this was a party venue and they were selling rugs. So people came to pick up rugs from there. Could Brian Koberger have been coming there to get some rugs too? If he was addicted to A-class H drugs, he could have easily gone down to cocaine or something lighter compared to what he was on. Now this is all allegedly, but BF in 2021 seemed to have been selling allegedly rugs or something on a Venmo. She's getting Venmos paid and messages. Just pay attention to this. You can see that's Bethany Funk, add friends, 91 friends. This is the first text she got. 28 May 2021. COKE. I'm sure you understand what that means. I'm sure she wasn't talking about Coca-Cola. She must have been talking about the white powder, Charlie, whatever they call it. She sent her Venmo. Then in June, she got this Venmo, crack cocaine, behind the Railers dumpster. So were these people actually putting rugs behind the dumpster? This is really interesting. And this is all Bethany Funk is Venmo. Riley Hilden paid BF on June 21st, 2021. That is interesting. And look at what he wrote down. I don't want to get in trouble with YouTube, but you can check what he's written down. So this is the second person we have on the Venmo mentioning the C word. C-O-K. Bethany Funk paid Xana Canodal, and look at what she wrote. BUTT implants. So I don't know if this is a joke or if this is a code language. This is another Venmo. And this is very close. This is April 27, 2022. So this is like 4 or 5 months before the unalivings. Your big BOOBS. I think they were talking in code language. There's another one, Claire Cirillo, paid Bethany Funk, 2022 April, couple of months before the unalivings. Big Pen or Peen. There has to be another code. So if Bethany was getting paid, and if Bethany Funk paid Xana Canodal, does that mean Xana and Bethany were involved in rugs? What was BF paying Xana for? Was it for utility bills? Quite strange, because this is not the people who live in the house. It's not only the roommates, other people on the Venmo sending Venmo payments to Bethany Funk and writing COKE. This is quite